fly in the sky. I can go twice as high. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. I can go anywhere. Friends to know and ways to grow, a reading rainbow. I can be anything. Take a look, it's in a book, a reading rainbow. A reading rainbow.
Hi there. You got me in the middle of my workout. You see, as an athlete, I have to stay determined in my training. Pro athletes like the ones you watch on your TV, they exercise 5 to 6 hours every weekday. That is a lot. Have you ever wanted to be great at something? Maybe even the best? Well, I've read an amazing book just about that. About a kid going into the 5th grade who wants to be the fastest in his class. He trains every day during summer break, and once he gets to school and the races start, he sees that he has a great chance until this little girl comes and changes his world forever. This book is called Bridge to Terabithia.
This is the book, The Bridge to Terabithia, and the part that I'm going to read to you is about someone that was bullying, and they then found out that she has a bad time at home, and that's probably the reason that she acts that way to everyone else, because she doesn't have a good home life and she's been through a lot. So you really shouldn't judge people on the way that they act, because they might have something going on at home or something from the past that is making them that way. So Maybelle unfortunately was a slow learner. Her daddy had brought her a package of Twinkies, and she was so proud that as soon as she got on the bus, she forgot everything she knew and yelled to another first grader, "Guess what I got on my lunch today, Billie Jean?" She then told Jess, "She stole my Twinkies." Jess sighed. "Maybelle, didn't I tell you? You gotta kill Janice Avery. Kill her, kill her, kill her." Leslie and Jess then had to come up with a way to get back at Janice Avery for Maybelle. "How about," Leslie began slowly, "how about boys? Who's she stuck on?" "Willard Hughes, I reckon. Every girl in the 7th grade slides to the ground when he walks by." "Yeah." Leslie's eyes were shining. "The plan came all in a rush. We write her a note, you see, and pretend it's from Willard." Jess was already getting a pencil from the can and yanking a piece of notebook paper out from under a rock. He handed them to Leslie. "No, you write. My handwriting is too good for Willard Hughes." He got set and waited. "Okay," she said. Dear Janice." "No. Dearest Janice." Jess hesitated, doubtful. "Believe me, Jess, she'll eat it up, okay? Dearest Janice. Don't worry about punctuation or anything. We have to make it look as if Willard Hughes really wrote it, okay?" "Dearest Janice, maybe you won't believe me, but I love you." "You think so?" he asked as he wrote it down. "I told you, she'll eat it up. Girls like Janice Avery believe what they want to in this kind of situation. Okay, now if you say you do not love me, it'll break my heart, so please don't. If you love me as much as I love you, my darling." "Hold it, I can't write that fast." Leslie waited, and when he looked up, she continued in a moony voice. "Meet me behind the school this afternoon after school. Do not worry about missing your bus. I want to walk home with you and talk about us. Put us in capitals. My darling. Love and kisses. Willard Hughes." Kisses? As the bus was about to pull out that afternoon, one of the 7th grade boys, Billy Morris, yelled up to Miss Prentice that Janice Avery wasn't on the bus yet. "It's okay, Miss Prentice," Wilma Dean called up. "She ain't riding this evening." Then in a loud whisper, "Reckon you all know that Janice has a heavy date with you-know-who." "Who?" asked Billy. A few days after the encounter with the enemies of Terabithia, they had an encounter of a different sort at school. Leslie came out at recess to tell Jess that she had started into the girls' room only to be stopped by the sound of crying from one of the stalls. She lowered her voice. "This sounds crazy," she said, "but from the feet, I'm sure it's Janice Avery in there." "You're kidding." The picture of Janice Avery crying in the toilet seat was too much for Jess to imagine. Well, she's the only one in the school that has Willard Hughes' name crossed out on her sneakers. Besides, the smoke is so thick in there that you need a gas mask. Are you sure she was crying? Jess Aarons, I can tell if someone is crying or not. Lord, what was the matter with him? Janice Avery had given him nothing but trouble, and now he was feeling responsible for her, like one of the Burke's Timber Wolves or the Beach Whales. She didn't even cry when kids teased her about Willard after the note. Yeah, I know. He looked at her. Well, he said, what should we do? There was a quiet minute after the door swung shut behind Leslie. Then he heard Leslie saying something to Janice. Next, a string of cuss words which were too loud to be blurred by the closed door. This was followed by some loud sobbing. Not Leslie's, thank the Lord, and some sobbing and talking mixed up in the bell. Leslie smirked clear through the afternoon and right onto the bus, where Janice Avery gave her a little crooked smile on the way back to her seat. And Leslie looked over at Jess as if to say, see, he was going crazy wanting to know. Do you know why she was crying? How am I supposed to know? Lord, Leslie, will you tell me? What in the heck was going on in there? Janice Avery is a very unfortunate person. Do you realize that? What was she crying about, for heaven's sake? It's a very complicated situation. I can understand now why Janice has so many problems relating to people. Will you tell me what happened before I have a hernia? Did you know her father beats her? Lots of kids' fathers beat. Will you get on with it? No, I mean really beats her. The kind of beatings they take people to jail for in Arlington. She shook her head in disbelief. You can't imagine. She leaned back, happy and relaxed. Know what, Jess? What? Thanks to you, I think I now have 1.5 friends at Lark Creek School.
You make the library a positive environment to get work in reading them.
I pretty much love students to be in here. It's definitely their space to do all kinds of work. Sometimes it's not very quiet, so it might be a better, work environment for groups and collaboration. But we just try to have a very inviting atmosphere so students will want to come in, read, and kind of work in here.
Every book can teach you something new, and the book that I picked was Green Eggs and Ham by Dr. Seuss because the character in the book, his name is Sam, and he didn't want to try something new, but he finally did, and he loved it. So this book should teach you to try new experiences because it might be something that you love or something that you hate, but you need to try it to see if you like it.
Have you ever wondered what it's like to be a crayon? Well, now you can. From the story The Day the Crayons Quit by Drew Daywalt. In this book, a schoolboy named Duncan goes to take out his crayons to color, but instead of his crayon box, he finds a stack of letters from his crayons. In these letters, his crayons write to him complaining of their hard lives as his crayons. They complain of being used too much, not being in the lines, and even not being used enough. But in the end, Duncan decides that in order to make all of his crayons happy, he would make a beautiful drawing that includes every last one of them. This book shows us that it's important to help people who are struggling because sometimes we all need a little bit of help. Whether it's helping your friends with homework, sharing lunch, or helping someone when they're sad, it makes them feel happy and cared for, and in exchange, it makes you feel good on the inside, like a warm hug from your heart.
There's a Dragon Downstairs is about a girl named Sophie that thinks there's a dragon downstairs at her house, and every night she hears noises, so every night she goes and investigates, and by the end of the book she finds out that it was her cat and not a dragon. This encourages kids to use their imagination and creativity and to face their fears and show them that their fears aren't as bad as they seem.
This book, No David, by David Shannon, tells the story of a young boy named David who finds it really hard to make good choices. He's constantly being told, no, David, but in the end, his mother tells him that she loves him regardless of however many mistakes he makes. Many of you probably relate to this book, but this book teaches us that we are loved no matter what.